Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 174. My name is Jason Erpelding. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here with Scott Ferrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com and Buy and Sell DVC.com.
And today is June 5th, 2024. So your 11th month window is May 5th, 2025. The 7th month window is January 5th, 2025. And remember, if you're looking to buy or sell a property, the website is buyandselldvc.com. And if you're looking to rent out your points or to rent some points, DVC-Rental.com. Remember the dash to save the cash. And we're going to start on the buy and sell side of things. And we asked the question, as a DVC owner or DVC renter, the number of vacations I've done at Walt Disney World where I didn't attend any theme park is... Now, I will say, for those not familiar with Orlando, again, Disney has 4 theme parks. They have 2 water parks. Plus you have Universal Studios. Plus you have SeaWorld. Plus you have...
Don't forget Fun Spot.
Fun Spot. Plus SeaWorld has a water park called Aquatica. Universal's water park is
Volcano Bay.
Volcano Bay. Plus you have places like Andretti's, Topgolf. I mean...
There's a zillion places you can list right now that, there's a lot of stuff.
So it's endless. So it's endless. But so the answers were never done that, meaning they've never went on vacation and not attended a theme park, was 66% of the people.
That's me as well.
1 to 4 vacations, 25% of the people. 5 to 9 times they've done that, 6% of the people. And 10 plus times, 3% of the people. So majority of the people are attending a theme park. And of course, I'm assuming it's a Disney theme park. But again, there's people that, stay on DVC points and go to Universal because they just have different, it's more for like Scott's son that wants to be on the roller coasters and the adventure side.
Yep.
But really, that's all I really had on the buy and sell side of things. So you're going to be carrying this episode here. So now we're on to the food review.
Come here, I'm going to eat you. Get in my belly.
For today's food review, I'm back at one of my favorites, which is Caramel Couche in the Germany Pavilion at Epcot. This is the first time that I've seen the Whoopie Pie Carrot Cake. It's similar to their amazing gingerbread caramel cookie and the snickerdoodle cookie with caramel. All 3 items have a great cream inside and the cookie with the caramel. I didn't enjoy this one as much as the other 2 though. Cream inside wasn't very cream cheesy-ish for some reason, and there wasn't a large carrot cake flavor to this. Also, the cake was very, very moist, which I guess is fine. You don't really want dry, but it's got to the point that it was like wet while you were trying to eat it. So the texture was a little bit odd. Again, it's not a bad whoopie pie, but in my opinion, there are definitely much better items that I would get there. And this isn't something I would want to repeat on. I give this a 6.6. Again, it looks really, really nice and it's really not bad at all. But for somebody who goes decently, there's definitely other stuff. Again, like personally, I think the gingerbread caramel cookie and the snickerdoodle cookie are better than this option. Definitely try it out. It's a cool thing to try out for the first time. But again, there's a lot of other stuff there. When was the last time you were at the caramel shop in Epcot? Been a long time, I'm guessing. They've got a ton of items in there that are all filled with caramel, and just everything you always have there is really, really solid. And this is relatively solid as well. 6.6 is not a terrible score. It's just that there are so many things there that are really, really good, and it's also by far the best smelling shop anywhere on Disney property, because you walk in, it's just big wafts of caramel, and it's a wonderful place to go. But I would not get this one again personally.
I will say that recently my oldest son, 14-year-old, went with my wife. They did all 4 parks in one day.
Really?
And it was 2 days before he got his braces on, so I'll have to find out if he stopped here for...
It definitely would have been smart to stop there before getting those braces.
He was trying to hit a bunch of places.
So they went to all the parks and you didn't go?
I was with, I stayed home with my youngest son. Because it's better if my because my oldest son and they want to do two different things when they go to the park. So it works out better that way. So
Is your youngest son the more adventurous one as well? Are either of them coaster guys?
Are what?
Coaster guys. They like going on coasters.
No, they're not. Neither one of, but
Besides Goofy's, the Great Goofini with you.
they're not really. Either one is not like. But my 14-year-old can go to the parks, and it's almost like he is over the age of 35. Like he can go there and just like enjoy the parks and not do rides. Whereas my 12-year-old wants to go to Magic Kingdom and meet a bunch of characters.
Oh, really?
So they're on two different game plans. So it's not good.
Yeah.
It's better if they go
That's
separate.
tough, yeah.
Now we're on to the DVC-rental side of things.
So for this week's DVC rental, I wanted to go over some of the pros of renting DVC points, and I'll cover some cons in probably like two shows or so, just because I want to be as forward as possible with everything, and because there's cons as well, but these are the pros of renting DVC points. The first one is the cost savings. Renting DVC points results in significant savings than booking through Disney. Typically, we're around 40 to 50% cheaper than Disney for the same rooms. And a lot of times, if you're looking on our deals page, I saw one the other day that we were like 75% cheaper than Disney for the same rooms, because a lot of times those are extra discounted confirmed reservations. So definitely a huge cost savings with us. Plus, you also have access to the deluxe accommodations that you probably wouldn't. I would say. I'm trying to think of the best way to word this, because truthfully, the first time I ever stayed at the deluxe resorts is when I became a DVC member, and I found that becoming a member allowed me to stay in resorts that I normally would not have been financially able to stay in. So renting points, again, you don't have to become the member. You can just rent the points and get the savings. So a lot of times it can help you possibly stay in resorts that you normally wouldn't be able to stay in, like myself. Another thing is it offers great flexibility, as that you get to choose the length of your stay, whether it's one night, whether it's 29 nights, or more, we can book anything for you. So great flexibility with also a large variety of options. You can stay from a duo or tower studio that sleeps only 2 people up to a grand villa that sleeps up to 12 people in the room. So lots of different options. You got flexibility on the rooms, what dates you want to go, how many nights you want to stay, whether it's a small 2-person trip or a huge group of people, you could do that. Also, I haven't mentioned it in a while, and I don't even have it on here. We also have which I think the terminology we use, but essentially, if you're going to book like 3 rooms or more, we offer an extra discount if you're going to stay at like Saratoga Springs. We do have a group travel rate as well. So whether it's 12 people, if you want to come in, we had a couple years ago, we had a basketball team come here that had like 50 people come stay or more than that. So there's group rates as well. So lots of flexibility. Also, there's real no commitment when you're renting DVC points. If you want to become a DVC member, you're locked in for 30, 40, however many years the contract lasts for. Where if you rent DVC points, there's no long-term commitment. You can do it the one time and never do it again, or you can come back every year. It's completely up to you. Again, a lot of this is about flexibility. You've also got the potential for last-minute deals. A lot of times during off-peak times or last minute, if you check out our deals page, just go to DVC-Rental.com, click on the deals button. You can find a lot of times a lot of last-minute stays that are extra discounted as well. With Disney, as it gets closer, they don't change their prices at all. The prices at Disney will stay the same, pretty much locked in for the whole year, unless they've got a promotion that they're running, 35% off for certain dates over the summer. As they get closer, they're not dropping the prices. A lot of times with these confirmed reservations, you can score some extra deals. You've got access to the DVC amenities. You get to use all the pools, the transportation, the recreation facilities. And again, you're getting all this stuff at a much less rate than buying the room directly through Disney. Plus, you also get the chance to experience different resorts. When you rent DVC points, you can stay at all the different resorts that I mentioned. All the flexibility. You can stay at the different resorts, try them out. A lot of people, when they're thinking of coming to Jason to buy a contract, a lot of times they'll rent out points first for 2 different resorts or 3 different resorts. 1 night each, 2 nights each, whatever it is. So that way you can kind of like test drive the resorts. They'll come in and say, let's do a night at Animal Kingdom, let's do a night at Polynesian, when we'll do a night at Old Key West, and see which one works best for our family. So because they're all very, very different, it's a great way to quote unquote test drive a vehicle, test drive your vacation and see what works best for you. Last one I had on here is that there's the excellent customer service. When you're booking a room with DVC-Rental, you're going to get great customer service. I own the company. Obviously, I'm still very involved and I'm doing this. Our team goes out of their way to try to help out with everything that we possibly can. So we'll always do our best. We're the highest ranked DVC rental company around. We've been doing this for about 14 years so far. We've got over 20,000 happy customers. So we will do our absolute best to take care of you and your family when you're coming down to Disney.
And I really think that if you've never rented DVC points, I really think that initially, you have this, like I would call it like a wall of skepticism up. You're like, yes. Wait, is this too good to be true? I need to hear from other people. What have you done? Can I, but it's like once someone breaks through that wall and makes that reservation and completes that reservation, they may end up being a renter for life, or they may rent 2 or 3 times and then they skip a few years to coming to Disney, and then they come back. They're like, oh, remember when we were running there, how easy it was? And they come back. Like once they break through that wall, it's just like,
oh yeah. I don't have the numbers, but I have to imagine that there's a very large portion of the bookings that we do that are repeat customers. Because honestly, as Jason said, you're nervous at first. You never know what's going to happen. The skepticism, this is too good to be true. Can we trust this company? We've got the reviews. You can check out everything online. But truthfully, once you rent points, you never ever want to go back pretty much to booking rates through Disney. You want to rent points again or possibly become a DVC member. Because again, if you become a member, it'll be cheaper over the long haul because, you don't have to, you're locked in at today's prices and only maintenance fees go up a little bit. So overall, for 20 years, buying in is going to be a little bit cheaper, but renting is the next best option. And I mean, it's I can't tell you how many people have gone with us and then you never go back to Disney. I mean, if something happened tomorrow and I had to give up everything and sell all my contracts, there is no doubt in my mind I would rent points when I want to stay on Disney property because you're never going to get a better rate anywhere.
So just remember, you just got to break through that wall for the first time. Once you do, you'll say, oh man, I should have done this 10 years ago. Yeah. So break through the wall. That's the message. That's the theme of the day right there. Yep. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you'll be back next week and leave us some comments about everything we discussed today.
Again, greatly appreciate you guys.
How many trips have you done? Didn't go to a theme park?
Yeah, that's true as well. That still sounds a little odd to me, but I mean, some people said 10 plus. I was like, that's crazy. But I guess if you include like Universal and stuff, it makes sense. But I guess there's a lot of people who just come down and they like to hang out by the pools and go for drinks. There's a lot of foodies who don't even like the parks that literally just come here and they love the restaurants here. So it does make sense.
I mean, plus if you're in Minnesota in February and you can come to Orlando, I mean,
it sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. See you next week.
Thank you again.